Please remain standing as the Desert Air Force JROTC Color Guard presents the colors, followed by the singing of the national anthem by Ayanna Wally.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Ayanna, and thank you to our Air Force JROTC Color Guard. Well done. You all may be seated. Hey, give it up for them. Good evening, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests. Welcome to the 68th graduation ceremony at Desert High School. Today, we honor and celebrate the accomplishments of the class of 2022. I am Ed Campbell, principal of Desert Junior Senior High School, and I am your presiding officer for tonight's ceremony. I would ask at this time that you please silence or turn off your cell phones. Videos and pictures may be taken throughout the ceremony, but please be mindful of those around you. For your convenience, the class of 2022 has contracted with Ms. Jacqueline Lopez from Imagine That Photography to take pictures of tonight's ceremony so you can sit back and enjoy the events of the evening. Before we begin the ceremony, let me take a moment to recognize several distinguished guests that we have with us this evening. From the Muroc Joint Unified School District Board of Trustees, President Matt Carter. Clerk Tiffany Gordon. And Honorable Trustee Teresa Davies. Also, from our, unfortunately unable to be with us tonight is Kevin Cordes, our superintendent. He's contracted COVID. However, Mr. Superintendent, we know you're watching on the streaming feed, so we hope you like the show. We do have Assistant Superintendent Brent Tan with us. Somewhere up there in the box running the show is our other Assistant Superintendent, Mr. Trevor Walker. And of course, our distinguished guest is also our commencement speaker, Colonel Randall Gordon. As always with an event like this, there's a whole bunch of thank yous that have to go out at the start. Hopefully I don't miss anybody. Thank you to the district governing board members and the district administration for your dedication and support of Desert Junior Senior High School. Thank you to everyone who has helped with the live streaming of tonight's commencement ceremony. Thank you to the Desert teachers and staff who have worked with the graduates in order to get them to this point. Thank you, Mrs. Talisa Matos, Senior Class Advisor, for all your hard work making this year a very special one for our seniors. Special thank you to Colonel Sullivan and Master Sergeant Brooks and the Desert Air Force JROTC for the presentation of the colors and the Sabre team. And while the journey has been interesting at times to get us to this point tonight, I would like to thank a very special thank you to CPM Construction for working hard to get the Performing Arts Center ready for this ceremony. And thank you to our entire maintenance team. I don't know if he's here, but I saw Jeremy Joe somewhere around here. He must be hiding somewhere. So, yeah. We have a fantastic maintenance team, and so without them, we wouldn't be able to pull this off tonight. So let's talk a little bit about academic regalia before I bring three incredible students up to the podium. Academic regalia is a visible reminder that the process of intellectual pursuits is historic and honorable. There are seniors here this evening that are wearing academic regalia, and three of our senior class officers would like to lead us in recognizing those students and their accomplishments. So I promised I'd get this one student's name right, so let's see if I get it. Sophia Fellows. Kirsten Baldwin. And Arile Uribe. Ladies.
Good evening, everyone. I am Kirsten Baldwin, the Senior Class Spirit Representative. This year, Desert has 21 students that have a 4.0 or higher as class valedictorians. They are wearing white caps and gowns. Please stand when your names are called. Samantha Grievebeister. Madison Van Norden. Giovanni Matos. Eric Yanez. Ryan Reeves. Ava Watts. Xander Bell. Nicole Warner. Cameron Penrod. Annalisa Chavaria. Sophia Fellows. Aurelie Uribe. Jaden Rose Raimundo. Claire Blakely. Kiana Lampa. Shelby Tran. Ethan Praster. Marcus Gordon. Alexander Townsend. And finally, Sharon Weimer. Sharon is wearing a silver stole to represent that she holds the highest GPA in our graduating class. Krishma Raz is recognized as a Valedictorian for having the highest GPA under a 4.0. Graduates, you may be seated.
My name is Aurelia Uribe, and I am the Senior Class Secretary. National Honor Society graduates were chosen based on 4 criteria: scholarship, leadership, service, and character. They are wearing a gold stole. Please stand and be recognized. Graduates, you may be seated.
My name is Sophia Fellows, and I am the senior class treasurer. We have one graduate who has been in the leadership class for all 4 years, and they are wearing a purple and white cord. Please stand and be recognized. Our ASB executive officers are recognized with a medal. They have contributed to the organization of this school year in and out of the leadership class. Please stand and be recognized. Graduates, you may be seated.
Students wearing the yellow California Scholarship Federation cords were chosen based on their excellent academic achievement in their school's community and have shown extreme dedication and hard work throughout their high school career. Please stand and be recognized. Graduates, you may be seated.
Air Force Junior ROTC members who have exceeded standards in leadership positions and earned honors recognition in JROTC are wearing a white stole, and cadets who have been promoted to the rank of Cadet Colonel, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel, and Cadet Chief Master Sergeant are recognized by wearing a red, white, and blue cord. All JROTC cadets, please stand and be recognized. Graduates, you may be seated.
We would also like to recognize our varsity athletes at this time. Students who completed a season on one of our varsity sports teams are recognized by wearing a white cord tonight. Please stand and be recognized.
Unless you were a team captain, we now ask the rest of the student athletes to sit down. We recognize your contribution and leadership roles within our athletics.
You may be seated. Even though there is not a specified cord or stole these graduates are wearing, we would like to recognize the students who have committed to joining a branch of the American Armed Forces. When your intended branch is read, please stand and be recognized. Army, Navy or Marine Corps, Air Force or Space Force. You may now be seated.
And now, Nicole Warner, Senior Class President, will address the students. Okay, my speech is way in the back, apparently. So I don't see my speech actually right now. 1 second, sorry. Okay, well, I guess I'm winging it.
Okay, so my speech, I wanted to give two messages to my class, and it was the importance of hard work and the importance of analysis throughout your life. So I'm going to be addressing my class, so I'm sorry if you see the back of my head a lot. But first of all, hard work. I wanted to bring up a situation that happened during our AP language class junior year. Mr. Spitzer was giving us an introduction to the book of The Great Gatsby, and he asked if anybody believed in the American dream. Nobody raised their hand. I would like everybody to reconsider that, and I hope that I have a few good points to convince you of this. So I had a definition actually printed out. I had two definitions of the American dream, but to sum it up, it's just, in America, you can do anything with hard work. There's a lot of controversy throughout our society, throughout our entire history as Americans, and I just wanted to let you guys know that you worked really hard to get to this place in your life, and building off of this diploma and this education, you can create your American dream, but of course there's the hard work, and some people don't have the same opportunities as you, so just make sure that you are taking advantage of those opportunities that are given to you. I also wanted to say analysis is very important within your life. I had a long list of people to thank because I went through and I analyzed my high school career and highlighted a few things that some people taught me. So it is loading. Okay, so I wanted to thank all of the teachers who genuinely cared for our education and the preparation for our lives. I wanted to thank my flight instructors that never gave up on me and showed me the importance of strength from within yourself and within the people around you. To the coaches that have taught us the importance of punctuality, that one was difficult for me to get. The people that have inspired me to pursue a career in the Air Force, Colonel Mark Sullivan, Colonel Russell Warner, whose paths I followed to be an officer, Master Sergeant Andre Brooks, whose positive impact this year will reflect in my leadership philosophy, and my big head. A special thank you to Sharon Weimer for not running for class president, because I might not have gotten all the opportunities as class president if she would have ran. Thank you to my siblings who have shown me that there are many ways to solve a problem, all of us taking a different path to a college degree. To my parents who taught me to tie my shoes and appreciate the opportunities that life has given me. To my grandparents, Gustavo and Francis Morales, for teaching me how hard work fuels the fire of an American dream. So, I want to ask each of you to work hard in all of the things you do and take advantage for those opportunities that come towards you. I challenge you to actually look back and analyze your entire life when you get towards the end. I challenge you to work to improve yourself and your environment, because soon you will blink and time will be gone. I hope that you look back and are proud of yourself throughout your life, and I hope you can look back now and are proud of the work you put in high school. Today, you may not feel any different from yesterday, but you can make choices so that one day you feel as though you are proud of yourself and living your American dream. God bless. So, before I introduce the valedictorian speakers, I'd like to recognize one last group of people for their academic regalia. Tonight, 5 students will speak. Each of them are wearing a black cord to represent their participation in senior class office. I could not have asked for a better group of people to manage and support the execution of so many projects and fundraisers this year. Sharon Weimer has attended Desert High School for 2 years and has made enormous impact on our entire student body in sports, ASB, and of course academics. Sharon holds the highest GPA in our class. Saving the best for last is definitely true in this case, but I'm pleased to introduce our last student speaker, Sharon Weimer, to deliver the valedictorian speech.
All right, hello. Let me find my speech since they were all... One moment. I'm going to put this back so I don't yell into the thing.
Names on it.
Okay, thank you. Here we go. All right, hello. So if you also see the back of my head, that's because it's for the students, but we are all so grateful that you guys are here. Good evening, students, faculty, and loved ones. Tonight, I am beyond honored to have the ability to deliver the valedictorian speech for the class of 2022. Before I begin, I want to take another moment to highlight and applaud the 20 other valedictorians and salutatorian and all the other graduates on this stage who have worked so hard for this night and their diplomas. I want to tell each one of you that I am proud and honored to be your peer and to have grown and experienced these last few years as classmates. Okay. I am confident that this class of seniors graduating from Desert will have a great and positive impact on those they encounter in the future. So many of you reached out to me as a new student and made me feel welcome in a time where everyone felt distant and we were actually all isolated from each other. So thank you all for the opportunity to integrate into your school, and help change it for the better. Being the new kid or experiencing a new situation is one of the most daunting tasks a person must adjust to. As I am sure most of you would agree, we like routines, schedules, and timelines to map out our time and be in control of our situations. As students, we especially like to know when the last possible second is that we can turn in an assignment. Gotta love procrastination. I'm looking at all of you. We all did it. We all did it, and me too. Me too. But when the schedule is altered or your situation changes, it is difficult to get back on track. I know this process very well. Growing up as a military kid, you were always expected to move. So I was very shy and reserved as a child. My mom was nice to describe me as being a wallflower, but really, it was really hard to make new friends, move and get settled into a new state every 2 years. I feel this is comparable to the uneasiness of moving to college or moving out of the comforts of your home. But looking back, I would not change my situation for anything. These experiences taught me a lesson I want all of you to take as you enter college, the workforce, military, or wherever you may go. And this lesson is that change is good and is needed to help you grow. Growth is a word that describes our walk through life. We will always continue to grow and develop our thoughts and actions as we become wiser, but right now in this auditorium, growth signifies our transition into adulthood. While some have already started their transitional growth, this ceremony symbolizes the end of our childhood and the beginning of our young adult lives. We are all grown up and ready to take our education and life skills and apply them to the obstacles ahead. As you all attack these obstacles and work to further growth and improve yourselves, always remember that you are stronger and more capable of overcoming difficult situations than you might think. Look at where you are now. We are all graduating. This was a 12-year obstacle, and every one of us successfully overcame it. Not only did we work to get an education, we successfully got an education through the trials of a global pandemic that generations of graduates before us never had to endure. So, if I could leave you with any final advice that I have learned over the years to grow and achieve your goals, it would be this: be confident and strive for what you want. Be humble and kind to those around you because they are trying to figure out life as well. Don't forget to enjoy your accomplishments, laugh through the stress, surround yourself with friends, families, and peers that want to help you overcome everything life throws at you. DHS class of 2022, there is nothing you cannot do. Make it a great life, Scorpions. And now I would like to introduce, I'm excited to introduce one of Desert's finest teachers, Mr. Patrick Sanfilippo.
Thank you for the very warm welcome. So, hello families and graduates. Similar to the last two speakers, sorry if I'm turning a lot here. So, I have to admit, I am not the most confident public speaker, and at first, when you guys asked me to talk today, I was very reluctant to say yes, but as you can see, they twisted my arm, and now I'm here. And I'm glad they asked me, because looking back on it now, as I started preparing for this speech, I realized something. This group of students here are the students I have spent the most time with in my 6 years at Desert. I taught them as sophomores, I taught them as seniors, I taught them in various classes in between. So thank you guys so much for asking me to speak today and being part of this really important part of your lives. It really means a lot to me. So, over the last month, as this day drew closer, something that really stood out to me is a lot of you guys are talking about how quickly time has gone by. And I have to say, I couldn't agree more. Except for me, it's really like these last few years have just flown by. I very vividly remember you guys being sophomores, walking into class, complaining about that day's ID quiz. And then seeing some of you guys with a panicked look in your eyes, trying to look at your friends' IDs, trying to make heads or tails of their terrible handwriting before the quiz could start. Or those of you that hoped I wouldn't notice as you moved out of your assigned seats, drifting closer and closer to that middle table in my old room, because for some reason, that's where everyone wanted to be. And then we went online. And for me, and I'm sure many of you, those days just dragged on forever. And then suddenly, we were back in school, and you guys were my seniors again. And it was almost like it happened in a blink of an eye, looking back on it. And we started your senior year off, and I think I caused a few of you guys to have an existential crisis because I made you start thinking about the first 5 years after graduation. Apparently that's not something seniors want to think about when they start off their last year. Yet, here we are today, and looking around, I don't see any existential crises going on anymore. You guys look happy, excited, but most of all, ready for what comes next. Because whether it was earning that elusive A on one of Dr. Zavala's essays, true, or passing really any math class. Personally, math is really hard. Finishing that 5-year plan you didn't want to think about, or even finally just not being tardy for a change. You know who you are. Everything you guys have accomplished, both big and small, from kindergarten to now, has gotten you to this point and has prepared you guys for what comes next. And as much as I will miss finding those hidden sticky notes with fish drawn on them around my classroom, having those couple of students who got my obscure, outdated, yet still hilarious references, bumping metatarsals and not metacarpals, just getting to be your teacher in general, I am so very excited to see you guys graduate today. I am so very proud of you guys. But I know I, and probably everyone else in this room, is even more excited to see what you all will do and accomplish after today. So with that, I would like to say thank you guys. Thank you, class of 22, for being some of the best students I have ever taught, and congratulations on reaching this important point in your lives. And now I would like to welcome Mr. Campbell back up to the microphone.
Do a little housekeeping up here. That's what happens when the principal forgets the notebook. That guy. That guy. You know, you would think after a while, when you prepare for speeches like this, that you hit the perfect note, but that's far from true. Every time I have to write a speech for graduation, I try to personalize it for the group that I'm writing it for. Sometimes you don't know that group that well as you'd like to. So at the very top of my speech, I was going to talk about COVID, but no. You already know how great they are. For this group to have come through all the things and challenges that they had to come through and be sitting here this evening before you, I don't really need to say anything else. Resilience, courage, determination, obviously this class has them all. And just to start there would be the first thing that I would think about. And then I thought, I'm gonna give them a message. An open letter from myself to this group of seniors with 3 separate challenges that I'll go through at the end. My message tonight to the class of 2022 is best viewed through the lens of an open letter from me to them. After 13 years of intellectual, emotional, and spiritual growth, you, class of 2022, have navigated yourselves through a journey that both culminates and renews itself today. It has been an amazing journey, one that has allowed you to fulfill the promise of achievement that you have possessed from the beginning and today are completing that fulfillment. I can say with true certainty that each of you have reached an apex moment in your life's journey. Today you can turn the page on one chapter of your life's manuscript only to begin to pen the next. While you'll still enjoy the advice and guidance of parents, friends, and in some cases teachers, this part of your journey will take you to places you choose to go, with outcomes that have been designed by you, because today you have earned the right, and more importantly, you have proven yourselves and to all those around you that you are worthy to be called graduate. As you embark on the next chapter of your life, I'm going to challenge you to always remember to do the following 3 things. 1, continue to make those who love and cherish you proud of the person you are becoming. Never forget the sacrifices they have made to put you in the position you are in today. As a parent myself, I can tell you that even when my sons stumble, they make me proud because they are always trying to better themselves. One of my greatest hopes for all of you is that you will continue to strive to become the greatest version of yourself that you can possibly be. I assure you, Desert graduates, your parents' aspirations are the same for you. My second challenge is that you continue to grow as a person from an intellectual, emotional, and spiritual perspective. Never allow your thirst for knowledge to be quenched. Never allow the emotion of the moment to cloud your judgment. Always seek to nurture your spirit with the things that allow you to feel safe and secure in the person you will become as days go by. My third challenge is that you lead a life of purpose, to continue to fill the pages of your life's manuscript with your hopes, your dreams, and your aspirations, to celebrate the good times, learn from the tough times, but at all times, be true to yourself and to your beliefs. On behalf of the faculty and staff at Desert Junior Senior High School, please allow me to thank the parents for trusting us to be an integral part of your students' lives and sharing in this truly special day. To our seniors, please remember, once a scorpion, always a scorpion. and this is a place where you can always call home. In closing, let me say congratulations to the class of 2022. Let me conclude by offering this simple wish for you. May God continuously light your path forward so you always see where to step next. Now I got the tough part. Now I have to introduce our commencement speaker. I don't even know where to start. I'm honored. Let's start with that. Colonel Gordon was born, and this is a, really? Colonel Gordon was born in Poughkeepsie, New York. Did I get that right? That's it, I'm leaving. That's, show's over. And received his commission in 1998 from the United States Air Force Academy. He was a vice wing commander of the 412th Test Wing at Edwards Air Force Base. He was also the initial cadre director for the Secretary of the Air Force's Artificial Intelligence Accelerator with the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. In addition, he served as initial cadre for the Secretary of the Air Force's AFWERX. I'm not even going to try. Technology and Innovation Team with Private Sector Business and Academia. Colonel Gordon is a Presidential Fellow for Harvard Business School alum, Defense Advanced Projects Research Agency Fellow, MIT Fellow, and holds a doctorate from the Air Force's School of Advanced Air and Space Studies. He served as the F-22 Combined Test Force as its commander and has additional test flight pilot experience in the F-15CE, the A-10AC, and the F-16AC, Bombardier BD-700, Global Express business jet, and 70 other military and civilian aircraft. That's a mouthful. He is married to our esteemed board member, Tiffany Gordon, and their son, Marcus, is a senior at Desert High School. Ladies and gentlemen, may I please present to you Colonel Randall Gordon.
Well, good evening, everyone. Can everyone hear me okay? It's good? How about this day? Pretty exciting for everybody, right? I wanted to thank Sharon for inviting me up here and for all the class officers that were a part of that. So thank you. You honor me, and so I want to honor you guys back. And I got to state the obvious. Look at this facility. This is spectacular. How many of you guys remember the old auditorium? Yeah, exactly. When you walk in here, I'm walking around this place, and I'm telling you, I'm going to be sad that I'm not going to get a chance to see the high school at full power. But I'll tell you, none of these other students will see it at full power either. But I don't think you guys want to stay around a year or two, right, just to watch that. So yeah, you guys are ready to graduate. So good. What I wanted to do is just share a couple stories real quick because this class is exceptionally unique because you guys have gone through something that none of us have. And quite honestly, no one has for generations at the earliest, and I don't want you to lose that because it taught you something, and I can say this, and it's not idle words, but you guys are agile, you are resilient, and you need to know that because that is one of those skills that will stay with you no matter which way you decide to go. So whatever your pathway is, yeah, thanks, it's worthwhile. Whatever your pathway is, if it's military, if you're going off to college, if you're doing trade work, if you're doing something I always wanted to do, which is take some time off and go visit Europe, whatever that is, we need to really hone in on that. And that's what I wanted to focus you on. So I was going to give you one observation. I'll give you a short story from my life, and then I'm going to request something from you at the very end. So the observation. Here's where you guys have been, really all of us where we've been. One is we just can't get around it. You've survived the pandemic in its very early, scary stages. I remember, and all of you remember too, March of about 2020, and it felt like the day the earth stood still. Like all those horror movies where the streets were empty and everyone was afraid and the news channels were 24/7 coverage of things. If you were class of 2020, you almost made it to the finish line, and then we had to cobble something together to get you all the way to graduation. And it was hard, it was awful to go through that. If you were a class of 2021, well, then you went through the year where it was remote. And everything was online, and we were trying to figure out how to do all that because we had never had to work through that before. Class of 2022, I think, got disrupted twice. Once was on the way down into COVID, and then there was the way back up so that we could actually do this and be together again. And in the middle of all that, you lost out on opportunities for sports, you lost out on opportunities for various clubs, you lost out on each other, frankly. And you had to work in an environment where none of us really knew what we were doing. And you had to actually just kind of take the reins of your own education. It's hard when you're sitting on the end of a computer screen and you're trying to figure out how to learn when you don't have all the other things that are around you. And then the harder part beyond there was to figure out how to reconstitute and to come back up so that we could be back together again as a class. Those are non-trivial. That was hard, and you are here. Think about that. I also want you to think about the fact, and it's a terrible thought, but it's the reality. Probably, actually I know as fact, that you've lost loved ones and you've lost friends to this. You have. Know that today they are looking down on you, they're smiling, they're so proud of you, just like everyone else here in the audience is. And so I just wanted to take a moment just to remember that part of it. Because again, you learn that at a very, very young age. Don't lose sight of that. If that wasn't enough, you guys have also gone through probably the most social upheaval I've seen in our country, at least in my years. Whether that was some social economic stuff where we saw our cities on fire, places like Portland, for instance. Whether or not that was political instability, like what we saw with January 6th. Whether or not that was racial instability, like what we saw with George Floyd. Whether or not that was gender issues now that we see with Roe v. Wade. These are just big upheavals. These are events that will be studied for years and years and years because they're milestones that have happened in our country that have never really happened before. And that happened while you were 17, while you were 16, or while you were 18. That's amazing that you are still here. Don't lose sight of that fact. So these aren't idle words about being resilient and adaptable. You did it. No matter where you go, you will always use that. So that's observation number one. Let me tell you a short story, number one, that kind of ties to that in terms of what pathways that you want to go do. My first job I got in January 3rd of 1993, and that job was at McDonald's. I was super excited, man. I had my black slacks, I had the green polo shirt with the little McDonald's emblem on the side. I went home, I told my mom, hey Ma, you'll never guess I got a job. She was excited because she got tired buying me Nintendo games. And so I got a chance to actually go make some money at a whopping total of $4.25 an hour, which was minimum wage. And man, I'll tell you, that was cheap even in those days too. I show up at McDonald's, day one, I'm super excited. I meet my manager and he shows me the hamburger cook. And you guys work at McDonald's? You ever know what this is like working fast food? Have you seen this before? It's this big clamshell kind of grill. And they teach you how to make all the Big Macs and how to make the quarter pounders with cheese and everything else like that. First mistake I did going off to my first job is I went to my job hungry. Don't do that. So I tried working the clamshell burger grill. That didn't go so hot for me, so then the manager moved me over to the fry vat, and I did that for a little bit, but that was even worse because sometimes the little oil would spatter out of there and it'd hit you and kind of burn you a little bit, and I hated that. So then they moved me over to the cash register, and that was even worse because there were pictures on there of what you had to do, but you had to stand and face really angry customers the whole time. I lasted about a month. I got fired on... It gets worse, guys. I got fired on Valentine's Day, 1993. Or the way that the assistant manager at McDonald's told me, he was freeing me up to go pursue other opportunities in life. And then I had to go home and explain to my mom that I got fired from McDonald's. Later on, when I joined the Air Force, they ask you for security clearance if you've ever been fired from a job. And so for the first couple of years of my life, I had to explain I got fired from McDonald's, and I got laughed at by all the security managers all the way through. But, someone told me when they hand you your hat, take it. And so I went to another job that still paid me $4.25 an hour, and I worked bagging groceries at what we would call like a superstore today, like a super Walmart, where you could get like a big screen television and you could buy, a gallon of milk all in the same spot. And I actually did a lot better at that job, mainly because I got a chance to talk to people. It was busy work. I mean, you're bagging groceries, and then I was retrieving carts or taking groceries out to people's cars. But it gave me a chance to interact with people and talk to them for a little bit. And they actually upgraded me to the really, really cool job, which is I got to go work the sales floor. And I had essentially no boss. Whatever you wanted to do, if a can of peaches fell off and shattered on the floor, it was up to you to figure out how to clean it up. If you were selling electronics, I got to go and learn about TVs and word processors. We didn't have computers at those times that were for sale. And learn about all those things. And I found that I did a lot better there than I did at McDonald's. And so here's the lesson I wanted to kind of pass along to you guys. Here's the reason why, looking back on it years later, because I didn't realize it, but the difference between those two jobs, one working in a superstore, the other one working at McDonald's, what I learned for me was probably the most profound thing, and I wanted to make sure that you guys kind of learn from this as well. People will tell you right now that you don't have a lot of experience, and that's true, you don't have a lot of experience. But the experience you do have is profound, right? Reference everything with respect to pandemic and whatnot. But then also in whatever jobs that you've had along the way, you learned something. There are people that can do really well in a very structured environment. I guarantee you, everybody in this audience can make a better hamburger than what McDonald's serves you. I guarantee that. But what you can't do is you can't scale it up to billions and billions and billions of people served. McDonald's was all about a very regimented system. I had to stand in front of the grill. I had to close the clam for a certain amount of seconds, let it open, only 1 squirt of pepper, 1 squirt of salt, whatever, the special sauce, which is really just Thousand Island sauce, to be able to get on the hamburgers. And some people really love that. Some people do really, really well in environments like that. I learned that I didn't. What I liked about the other job is I was essentially like an entrepreneur. I could do whatever kind of made the most sense. My bosses kind of left me alone. I could talk to people. I could learn a lot. And I found that I was much more on the entrepreneurial side. And I found that whatever jobs I had after that looked more like my job bagging groceries and selling stuff than it did look like McDonald's. So you have things that you've happened in life, right? Everyone's asking you right now, what are you going to do? Where are you going to go? What's going to happen next? And what I've learned through that is I've learned it's not really so important what your job is. It's more important of the experiences that you want to get in life and who you want to become. And looking back on it, I realized I just wasn't that type of guy that did really well in a very structured environment. And I was more kind of in that world of, let me go find, let me go explore, let me go talk to people and learn. And I knew all that. I didn't know it at the time, but I knew that when I was 18. And those are the types of experiences that you have right now. So don't lose sight of that with whatever pathway you ultimately decide to go. The last thing I wanted to give you is a request. Because we have a number of people that have joined us here in the audience. We have a number of people that are in the overflow rooms. And then we got people that have joined us online. This is a huge moment for you, but you didn't get here by yourself. And so I wanted to make sure that everyone understood the love that you have for them. So if you would join me, if you could stand. Thank you, guys. And for all the friends and the families that have joined us today, give them a round of applause. This is as much their day as it is yours. I can say that as a parent with someone in the class that's also a student of Scorpion. There have been many fork through the plate kind of discussions about what we're going to do and how this is going to work and school's going to go, and I know that's been difficult on everyone, but this is a huge day for all of us, and so we wanted to celebrate that, and I wanted to wish my best and wish you exceptionally well, class of 2022. We are so very proud of you. Congratulations again, guys.
So we are now going to move to the senior slideshow. I'm going to bring Mrs. Matos up. And so we'll do this, and then after this we'll get to the awarding of diplomas. Ms. Matos?
So our students have designed a very memorable slideshow, and to avoid copyright issues, we decided I would speak while the slideshow was going on. So you have some background noise, and I can share some memories. So here we go. I hope you enjoy our slideshow. And I may not be able to read my speech, but maybe. It's a little dark. No, it's right in my eyeball. What? Okay. All right, so good evening, friends, family, and students. It is with great joy that I share tonight with you. The class of 2022 is especially dear to me. When I began teaching 5 years ago, they were my first 8th graders. Then some were in my 10th grade class. I also got to teach their siblings, and I got to know their families. So this class is really like a family to me. Some of the students even were in 1st grade with my son, who is graduating today also. Others joined the elementary school in 3rd or 4th or 6th grade. I volunteered in their classrooms, went on field trips, attended birthday parties, and even camped when we were scouts together. Those were mostly rained out fun times, let me tell you. So, as I was teaching, and I can't see the show, so I hope you can see stuff. When there was an opportunity to be their class advisor, I jumped at the chance, and I have always been grateful. There, yay, okay. Okay, there we go. We can see them now. I have continued to make memories with these students. In 8th grade, can you see it? Oh. They're so awesome, aren't they? I will going to miss this class a lot. They're amazing. In 8th grade, some of them made me a little crazy. They talked nonstop, you know who you are. And it made me sometimes question my choice. Yeah. My choice of work with them. But they just had so much energy, and they had so much potential. So then I became their advisor, and in 9th grade, I learned a little bit about ASB with them. I hosted ASB meetings in my room and learned about the Associated Student Body. Oh my goodness. Maybe I should turn this way so they're looking at. All right. Oh, there, our favorite thing, football. In 10th grade, we actually sold popcorn and elotes, and I say that loosely. Do you remember the corn in the cup with the mayonnaise? That was fun at the football games. And then this amazing class, oh, that's when we went to Kellyan Island. That was awesome. We did the yearbook together in 10th grade and had very heated discussions about what should be there. If you know this class, you know they're very opinionated. Aw, aren't our students cool? All right. And that was last night, and that was amazing. In 11th grade, we had meetings on Google Classroom, and I'm glad we're not there anymore. So it was really hard to be separated. And then here in 12th grade. In 12th grade, we have tried to cram in everything that we missed the year before. This class has worked incredibly hard, planning their homecoming and prom, putting together our senior trip to Catalina Island and grad night at Six Flags, setting up senior sunrise and senior sunset, planning academic awards nights, sometimes locking their keys out of their cars. That was fun. Somebody lost their phone. That was also fun. But they've just amazing. They put together tonight's program. They decorated the venue. And so these very energetic and very talkative students from 8th grade have become leaders in the student body, in sports, and in the junior ROTC program. I have been amazed by their abilities to plan and to execute those plans, whether they were fundraising or designing the yearbook or deciding where to go on the senior trip. As has been mentioned, this class has faced many challenges, many of them personal as well as academic, and yet they have learned and grown and become these wonderful young adults you see here tonight. They are attending college and trade schools, joining the military, finding jobs, and to say that I am proud of you is an understatement. So, all right. They say when you become a mother, sometimes, your heart walks around outside of you with your children. And I have found that as a teacher, my heart is in more places. Whenever I see my students succeed or struggle, it makes me happy or sad. When you wave at me in the grocery store, it just makes my day complete. So to the class of 2022, I want to wish you the best and brightest future, which I know you will create for yourselves. And I also want to thank you for letting me be your advisor these last few years. It has been an honor and a privilege. You are awesome, you are resilient, you are the class of 2022. There is nothing you cannot do.
All right, for this next part, we're going to have Mr. Tan, our assistant superintendent, join me. Now I would like to invite our assistant superintendent, Brent Tan, to come up here and present him 75 amazing Desert Junior Senior High School seniors. Will the candidates please rise? Please rise. We can't certify if you don't stand up. Maybe we should have had that 9 a.m. practice. That principal, man, I don't know. Let him off the hook. Mr. Assistant Superintendent, I present to you members of the class of 2022, and I do declare that these candidates have met all the requirements for graduation as mandated by the state of California and the Muroc Joint Unified School District Board policy.
On behalf of the Muroc Joint Unified School District, I want to commend the class of 2022 and the resilience shown throughout the challenging years. When the world paused due to the pandemic, you learned to be flexible. When we asked you to learn virtually, you became technology experts. When we told you that we could not do certain extracurricular activities, you demonstrated patience and understanding. I encourage you to take what you have learned from these experiences, seize it with joy and gratitude for the way these challenges have prepared you to do more. We are so proud of each and every one of you, and even more excited to see what the next chapter has in store for you. Scorpions, this is your time. Go out there and make your mark. With that being said, under the authority vested in me by the state of California and the Muroc Joint Unified School Board of Education, I hereby acknowledge that these students have completed all requirements as mandated by the state of California and Muroc Joint Unified School District Board policy, and I accept this graduating class. Congratulations.
All right. We have come to the moment everyone has been waiting for, the presentation of the diplomas. I now invite Mrs. Matos, Ms. Puglisi, and Ms. Riddle up here to join me for the awarding of the diplomas for the graduating class of 2022. Will the first row of graduates please stand?
Let's start, yes. All right, so we'll start with this row. We flipped it. We switched. No, it isn't. It's back. That's okay. We could do that. Okay, ready? Natalie Warner. Nicole Warner. Areli Uribe. Shelby Tran. Alora Renee Anderson. Xander Bell. Claire S. Blakely. Elijah Breen. Carla Carrillo. Mona Shaheen. Christopher Cheatham. Dewan Israel Champ Coulter. Zachary Curtis. Brennan Jamel Dunbar. Isaiah Davila Gamboa. Marcus Gordon. Angelica Holly. Elijah Heath. Kiana Camille Lampa. Eric Yanez. Alicio Lorenzo Lopez. Giovanni Matos. Jaquay Morgan. Nicole Murphy. Elijah Peebles. Brandon Josiah Perez. Riley Powell. Krishma Alexandria Raj. Jaden Rose Ramundo. Ryan Reeves. Riley Rivas. Scott Skaczynski. James Joseph Stevenson. Madison L. Van Norden. Ava Watts. Emily Madison Wood. All right. And that's everybody from that side. Woo, my hair is falling down. Okay. Okay, are we ready? Oh, I know who you are. Okay. Sharon Weimer. Sophia Fellows. Kirsten Baldwin. Alyssa Rain Adkisson. Celeste Arias. Kiara Beck. Kaden Belsky. Ben Bonzo. Armando Carrera III. Elijah Shane Canalupo. Annalisa Chavaria. Samuel Arceta Clark. Ingrid Cruto. Joshua James Syriark. Ooh. Joshua Ferguson.
See, I told him yesterday there's always one.
Samantha Greedbeester. Bryce Grimm. Jared Hyla. Justin Helton. Sammy Mae Lewis. Natalie Lopez. Victor Martinez. Shannon McLaughlin. Colleen Murillo. Zen Nelson. Cameron James Penrod. Odessina Perry. Shane Powell. Ethan Praster. Hannah Rosenberger. Isaac Ruiz. Alexander Skaczynski. Brian Stafford, sorry, there you go. Jason Torcivia. Okay. Tage Waldron. Cassie Elizabeth Weber. Is that everybody? All right. Woo-hoo. that's everybody.
How about one more round of applause for the class of 2022? So one thing I'll never get accused of is staying with tradition. I like starting my own or new ones or finding something different. And so one of the things I did when I looked at the script in the past struck me that when it comes to turning the tassel, there's only one person in the room or in the building that should be doing that. So Nicole, if you come up here as the senior class president, I would like you to turn the tassel.
Okay. Perfect. So I'm going to ask all of the graduates to rise. Okay, so grasp your tassel and turn it to the left. Okay. You may all be seated.
Thank you, Nicole, for starting a tradition I hope reigns for 1,000 years. As senior class president, that should be one of the last things they do. Seniors, as you celebrate your accomplishments tonight, please be safe. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes tonight's ceremony. The graduates will exit on the sides of the stage and then exit through the doors that you all entered through. Please meet your graduates out in front. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain in your seats until all the graduates have exited the auditorium. Class of 2022, please stand. You have came, you have seen, you have conquered. Congratulations. May the wind always be at your back. Ladies and gentlemen, class of 2022, this is it. Thanks for coming, everybody. Safe travels.